breastfeeding, according to medical research, has profound impact on a child's survival, health, nutrition, and development. To encourage breastfeeding and improve the health of babies around the world, government policymakers, World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other organizations initiated the Innocenti Declaration, signed in August 1990. This declaration bettered the idea of having World Breastfeeding Week from 1st to 7th of August every year to create more awareness on the impact of breastfeeding. This year, WHO is working with UNICEF and partners to promote the importance of family-friendly policies to enable breastfeeding and help parents nurture and bond with their children in early life when it matters most. Joining us in the studio is Tumike Green, the matron, United Heart Hospital. She's going to talk about the impact of breastfeeding. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
This day, for the entire week, breastfeeding is important. What is your assessment on the level of awareness and the importance of breastfeeding?
I think the financial status of the country right now has trailed everybody, especially most homes now, to practice proper breastfeeding. Even when you go to antenatal, you know, the jingles and everything is propelled towards breastfeeding your baby. And, you know, buying a formula now is quite expensive. So most people prefer the natural way, since they can't afford the formula, so they go natural way by breastfeeding their babies. And you know, for so many advantages of breastfeeding out there, people prefer to breastfeed babies.
What are these advantages? Why is it so important that an entire week is dedicated to it?
Even if the entire month is dedicated to it, it's worth it. Firstly, breastfeeding is cheap, and it's affordable. You're not spending anything. It's easy to prepare. There is no process of preparation. Gone were the days when you carry a big bag because you have you just have a baby filled with flax and all those things. You don't need that. And then breastfeeding also helps the mother in a way to do family planning, because in the first 6 months she's not having a period anyway, so there is probability that she might actually not get pregnant. It is at the right temperature for the baby, and through breastfeeding, some immunity are passed on from the mother to the child as well, especially the very first breast milk that comes out, which is the colostrum.
Okay, there's this 6 months advice from the World Health Organization, exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. How easy, in your assessment, is it for the working class mothers to adhere to this 6 months advice?
I tell you, it's not easy. I'm a mother myself, and I practiced that, but it wasn't quite easy. You know, maternity leave is just for 3 months, and after 3 months, you drop your baby at home and you go to work. Although, me being a nurse, you kind of close early from work, but then we can't breastfeed baby as adequately as we want. So most times you express the milk down and get somebody to feed the baby, maybe the nanny, or if your mom is around, or mother-in-law, to feed the baby. So it's not that easy. Sometimes you're at work, your breast is already full of breast milk wanting to come out, and you know, you can't just find a way. Yes, you just have to find a way. So it's not that easy, especially for working class women. If it's women that are not doing anything, maybe stay-at-home moms, it's very well,
in this economy, you can afford to have a whole lot of mothers be stay-at-home mothers. So what role do you think government can play? As it is, some companies, some employers don't give up to 6 months maternity leave. Some, they give 3 months if they're so kind, 4 or 5. So what role can the government and employers play in this?
I think companies can be encouraged to have nursery at work, so that mothers can actually bring their babies to work, and when it is time to breastfeed. Because for breastfeeding, you can't set a time. It's when the baby is hungry. It can be every 2 hours. It can be every 2.5 hours. It can be 30 minutes, because breast milk is easily digestible. And once the feed is digested in the child's, he or she will want another one. So I think it's a good idea to have nurseries at work, whereby you can bring your child to work and at interval go to the nursery and feed the baby and then come back to your assignment.
What role does the husbands, the fathers of the breastfeeding mothers play in all of this? There's been advocacies that these men should also get maternity leave. What are your thoughts on
I think it's good that we are involving the men now, because while the mother is breastfeeding, you know, when you are breastfeeding a child, all your attention and every other thing, let's assume you are cooking and the child demands to be breastfed, you have to, you know, stop that cooking and breastfeed the child. If the man is at home, he can continue that. He can continue with other chores while the mother spends time to adequately and properly breastfeed the baby. So it's good that men also goes on paternity leave to assist their wives while they are on maternity leave.
There's this question I probably should have asked before now. There is this argument that breastfeeding creates a bond between the mother and the child. Is this true in your opinion?
Yes, from personal experience, I would say it's very, very true. You know, the way you are holding the baby, the child is looking at you, you are looking at the child. Occasionally, the baby will smile at you, and you smile. That is motherhood. That is what we call motherhood. And I think it's a very good bond. Children that are well breastfed, or that are breastfed for a longer time, they have that bond with their mom. Even while they grow up, that bond is still there because of the love and the care, the holding, the smiling, the cuddles that the mother have given while breastfeeding the baby. So it goes a long way. It's very, very true.
Before I let you go, you talked about, you know, the challenges of being a working mother and having an infant to take care of. So what is the most hygienic and safe way for a mother to expel breast milk that maybe you'll not be around and you still have the child take it?
Okay, firstly, I would say that if you are not going to be around and you want to express breast milk, make sure you are sure of the person that is going to be giving your child that breast milk, free from infection. First thing is to wash your hands, proper hand washing, before you touch any feeding utensils that contain the breast or the container. The container that you are going to express the breast milk in must be properly cleaned and sterilized. So after proper extraction techniques should be used. If not, you will just be there laboring for hours for the breast milk to come out. But if you use the proper technique, within few minutes, the container will be filled. So you also need to, you know, store the breast milk, room temperature, 4 hours. It's okay. But we normally say that when you store in the fridge, after 4 days, you have to discard. But in these days, well, our electricity is not all that. I will say within 24 hours, every other milk should be discarded. And you know, it's an ongoing process. The more you express, the more the milk comes out. So why give milk of yesterday when you can easily produce another one for today?
That's why you call it the natural thing.
Yes, it's a natural thing.
Thank you so much for coming on the news.
Thank you too.